All right, boys and girls, it's that time again. We're picking back up with our lesson on functions. Today, our goal is to find the value of a function in function notation and to make a function table of values. Our essential question is, how does the domain affect the range in a function? Now, these are actually things that we did before the school closures, but we're just going to go back and make sure that we all understand it and are on the same page. We're going to start off by taking a few notes, so make sure you record the following terms in your math notebook. Function notation is used when finding the value of a function for a certain number. This whole equation here is our function. It's in function notation because of this f of x right here. Instead of the letter y, we're using f of x, and that's what lets us know that it's in function notation. When we evaluate this, we're going to replace the number inside of the parentheses with x in the equation. So for example, find f of negative 5 if f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. Well, what they're asking us to do is to replace x with the number negative 5 in that expression. We've actually done problems like this before, but before they would have asked us to do it by saying evaluate 2x plus 3 for x equals negative 5. Works the same kind of way. So I'm going to do f of negative 5 is equal to 2 times negative 5 plus 3. Notice all I've done is instead of the letter x, I've put negative 5. And from there, we're just going to simplify. 2 times negative 5 is equal to negative 10. And negative 10 plus 3 is negative 7. So my answer is f of negative 5 is negative 7. In example 2, it says find f of 7 if f of x is equal to 10 minus 3x. Once again, all we're doing is we're replacing the letter x, our variable, with the number we've been given. So f of 7 is equal to 10 minus 3 times 7. And from there, we just simplify. 3 times 7 is 21, and 10 minus 21 is negative 11. So our answer is f of 7 is equal to negative 11. For the practice, I want you guys to try these on your own, pause the video, and check back with me in a second. If you're wondering why this time it's a B instead of an X, that's okay. It can actually be any letter we want it to be, any variable. Notice that in the equation, in the function, B is our variable. So once again, we're just replacing that letter with that number. So f of 2 is equal to 2 squared plus 5. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 plus 5 is 9. So f of 2 is 9. Function tables we actually did cover last week as well, so this should be a little bit of review. Remember, we can choose whatever x values we want if there aren't any given. And last week we said we liked to go with easy ones like 0, 1, 2, and 3. So that's what I'm going to go with today. You're welcome to choose your own when you do these by yourselves. For each of these values, one by one, we're replacing x with the values we picked. So I'm going to start off with 2 times 0 minus 3. And then I'm going to do 2 times 1 minus 3, 2 times 2 minus 3, and finally 2 times 3 minus 3. And when I evaluate each of those, again, noticing that the only thing that's changed is the x value, I'm going to get negative 3, negative 1, 1, and 3. That finishes out my table.